What is truth? Can we ever truly understand a text, a work of art, or even another person? In Truth and Method, Hans-Georg Gadamer challenges the modern obsession with objectivity and argues that understanding is not about following rigid methods. It is about dialogue, history, and the fusion of horizons. This is the book that reshaped the philosophy of interpretation. For centuries, the Western world has pursued certainty. From Descartes to the modern sciences, truth was seen as something measurable, objective, free from human bias. But can this model explain how we understand art, literature, and history? Gadamer argues that when it comes to human meaning, truth does not come from method. It emerges through experience, dialogue, and history itself. The key to Gadamer's thought is hermeneutics, the philosophy of interpretation. He asks, how do we understand a text, a conversation, or a historical event? Is meaning fixed, or does it evolve over time? Understanding, Gadamer argues, is not about extracting a single objective meaning. It is a process, one shaped by history, culture, and our own personal perspectives. Most think of prejudice as a negative thing, an obstacle to truth. But Gadamer sees it differently. He argues that our prejudgments, our background, our traditions, our expectations, are not obstacles to understanding, but the very conditions that make understanding possible. We never approach a text, a conversation, or a historical event with a blank slate. We always bring our perspectives with us. And yet, rather than distorting meaning, these perspectives are what allow us to engage with meaning at all. So if we all see the world differently, how do we understand one another? Gadamer introduces the concept of the fusion of horizons, the idea that understanding is a merging of perspectives, not the domination of one over another. Understanding is not about erasing differences, it is about dialogue, about allowing different perspectives to transform each other. When we truly listen, our horizon, our frame of reference, expands. For Gadamer, language is at the heart of all understanding. We do not possess meaning, it exists between us, in our conversations, in the words we share. Language is not just a tool, it is the very medium in which truth appears. But because language is historical, meaning is never fixed. Words change, cultures shift, and every act of interpretation is a new encounter with truth. Modern thought tells us that truth is about formulas, calculations, and measurements. But Gadamer reminds us that some truths, those found in art, poetry, history, cannot be captured by method alone. To truly understand art, history, or philosophy, we must participate in meaning, not just analyze it. Understanding is not passive, it is an experience, a relationship, an ongoing process of discovery. Today, Gadamer's ideas continue to shape philosophy, literary criticism, and even political discourse. His work reminds us that understanding is not about certainty, but about openness. In a world that often seeks rigid answers, Truth and Method offers a different vision, one where truth is not an endpoint, but a conversation, one that never truly ends. Gadamer does not give us a method to follow, he gives us a challenge. To listen, to engage, to recognize that truth is not something we own, but something we pursue together. The question remains, will we accept the dialogue?